Hey guys, this is Martin Perdomo, the Elite Strategist, and you're listening and or watching Latinos in Real Estate Investing podcast. And today I want to talk about two things. I want to talk about wealth and I want to talk about lifestyle. And that's the topic I want to talk about today because many years ago, I made a decision. But before we get started, I just want to, first of all, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, which you probably are, I want you to click the button downstairs and give us a thumbs up. And we appreciate you liking this. It really helps us with the algorithm and helps us get in front of more viewers. So I'm gonna get right on with it. I want to talk about the difference between wealth and lifestyle. You know, it wasn't too long ago, a few years ago in 2017, I attended an event and the keynote speaker, I'm not gonna say his name, you guys probably know him, he's a very well-known guy. We had a break in between and I asked him a question and he said to me, and I actually recorded him on my phone, he said to me, Martin, you got two choices when you're building a business. You could build a lifestyle business or you could build a business that's going to create wealth for you. But here's what you can't have if you come from poverty or you're middle class. You can't have both. You cannot have lifestyle and you cannot have wealth. And I was a little intrigued by that response, so I kept listening. If you choose to have lifestyle today, that's perfectly fine. You can make your money, you can make $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 a year. That's perfectly fine. You can choose that, and you could drive the nice cars, you can have all the nice things and nice houses, you can do all those things, but all you're gonna have is lifestyle. You're never gonna get wealthy, and you're never gonna move ahead in terms of creating real, true wealth for yourself. He said, but when you choose wealth, that means that you're choosing sacrificing today, right? Sacrificing having those nice things right now to having them in the long term forever. That left me a little bit baffled. And I thought about, as I was thinking about when I was recording this, I thought about a decision I made many years ago when I was 25 years old, right? So I made $100,000. I made my first six figures when I was 24 years old. I made six figures for the very first time, guys. That was my dream. Let me explain something to you, right? Because I'm going to talk about a poverty mindset and I'm going to talk about a wealth mindset, right? An abundance mindset. When I made $100,000, right? I was so poor, guys. To give you an example, my yearbook, so you know, you get a yearbook, your high school yearbook, they give you a yearbook, and then in my high school we had this other book where people wrote things. I forgot what the name of that book is, but people wrote things and you put pictures and you answered a bunch of questions. I was looking through that the other day and one of the questions was, what is your dream car? And my dream car said Honda Civic. That was the biggest I could dream of. People, we were so poor. I was so poor in the Dominican Republic. When I was born, my mother sent me back to the Dominican Republic. If you watch on TV show those kids that are running around in third world country without shoes and in their underwears and without shirts, that was literally me. So I know poverty. I know how poor people think, guys. I'm very familiar how poor people think. And like I said, Honda Civic was my dream car, right? That was my dream car. But anyways, I made this decision. I made $100,000. My wife and I, at that time, we had just gotten married and we had just built this beautiful home, which we still live in. And I knew intuitively, just like you know intuitively, I needed to make a choice. That yeah, I was doing very well financially, income-wise, but I knew intuitively that I was just in a hamster wheel because just as my income was going up, my expenses were going up, and that's a poor person's mindset, right? And the biggest distinct difference between a poor person's mindset and a wealth and abundance mindset is a poor person and most middle-class people cannot resist the urge of getting things right now. Right? They're unable to. Income goes up. Well, I'm going to use that extra money, buy a new car. I'm going to get nicer things. I'm not knocking it. I was there, right? Because we didn't have anything. Because I didn't have anything for such a long time in my life, and no one in my family ever had anything. The minute you make a little bit of extra money, you want to get those nice things, and that is the biggest enemy and the biggest defeat to actually accumulating wealth. Right? The second thing is we're never taught about income producing assets, right? To buy, instead of going out to work every day, you and I know this intuitively, that if we continue to go out to work every day, eventually, if we look at our grandparents, I know I would look at my grandma, I would look at the people around me, eventually they're dependent on Social Security, and they're poor. And they're poor when they're old. And intuitively, I knew this. But I made a decision. I intuitively knew this, but I still made an unconscious decision, because this happened unconscious, that I didn't want to sacrifice the nice house. I didn't want to sacrifice the nice car. I didn't want to sacrifice the status I had. I didn't want to sacrifice stepping back, downsizing, to then move forward. The other thing I was missing was I didn't have the skill set. I didn't have the education on what to do. Okay, so now if I downsize and I step back, I'm gonna save money for what? How am I gonna put that money to work, right? You guys probably heard, Robert Kiyosaki often says, the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, that savers are losers, right? If you save too much money, you're gonna lose to inflation. Your value of your dollar is gonna get you less and less over time. So I didn't really know what to do, right? I did not really understand or know what to do with that money. So I made an unconscious decision, and I said, you know what? I'm going with lifestyle. I don't want to sacrifice the house. I don't want to sacrifice the car. I want to give my kids the best that I could. And that's fine. That was a decision I made, and it was in my head the best decision I made. At the time, looking back now, being 43 years old and being wiser, knowing what I know now, being, having invested thousands of dollars in my financial education, surrounding myself with wealthy people with money, understanding some basic principles about money and assets and income producing assets. If I'd known what I know now, right, you hear this often, I probably would have made a different decision. I'm happy with the decision I made. My kids, I have wonderful kids. My kids are great kids. They're happy. I gave them a great life. It was until I was about 36 years old, that I finally said, I'm done with lifestyle. This is not the way to wealth. And I made the decision that I was going to start creating and buying assets that are going to create wealth long term. Right, guys? So you have two choices, guys. You can choose lifestyle, or you can choose wealth. If you choose lifestyle, it's perfectly fine. Just understand what you're choosing. If you're choosing lifestyle, whether you're making a conscious or unconscious effort, if you're choosing lifestyle, know that you're going on the other way of wealth. You're not going to be wealthy. You're not going to be rich. You're going to be working forever. You're going to be dependent on a pension. You're going to be dependent on Social Security. If you're choosing wealth, then that means that you need to start sacrificing today. That means that you need to start making some financial sacrifices. That means that you're going to have to start saving. I would recommend save at least 6 months of your monthly expenses. Then start educating yourself on how to create income producing assets. One of the ways you can do that is invest in real estate. You can invest in apartment buildings. Start with a duplex, start with a triplex. You can start investing in real estate and smaller assets that are going to be producing income for you even while you sleep. That every month, no matter what happens, you're going to have a check into your bank account. Let me tell you, it sure is nice the first of the month to know that, hey, all of my expenses are going to be covered, and I'm going to have some money left over for this asset. So that is a good asset. Go and educate yourself on some financial principles, right? Some basic stuff. What is good debt? What is bad debt? Good debt is debt that creates money for you. Good debt is debt that actually nets you a positive cash flow. Bad debt takes money out of your household. Bad debt takes money out. Good debt puts money in after you pay the debt. So you have those two choices, guys, lifestyle and wealth. The choice is yours, right? Are you choosing lifestyle? If you're choosing lifestyle, you're probably like me, okay? Like me, I made the decision at 24, right? 24, 25, hey, I like my income, I'm doing well, I like my cars, I like my nice stuff, and I only have 15 grand in the bank, and I was happy with that. But I knew intuitively I wanted more than that. I knew intuitively that there was going to be a price to pay down the line. And I knew that I had to make the decision. And it wasn't until I heard this man at this event, and he said that to me, that it really hit me, and I made the decision to go for long-term wealth. It happens fast, guys. It happens really fast. So I'm going to make a suggestion is go get your financial education, go learn about money. Me personally, I love real estate. I've built my wealth, building my wealth through real estate. Go do real estate, find groups to invest your money in, have your money work for you. One book I'm going to recommend that you read is The Richest Man in Babylon. Absolutely outstanding book. It's going to really give you some wealth principles that are going to help you. Again, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. You've been watching the Latinos in Real Estate Investing podcast, the Elite Strategist. And again, if you're listening to this podcast, just drop us a 5-star. If you're watching this on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. We would really, really appreciate that. Thanks again for watching. This is Martin Perdomo, the Elite Strategist. Peace out.